The majority of victims were reportedly shot while waiting for aid trucks near the Zikim crossing with Israel, according to the staff at the Shifa hospital. Let's listen in to what a 75-year-old displaced resident who lost her son while he was seeking aid had to say about the situation.
عشان الطحين والاكل يما بصيحوا لاباتهم الصغار بيقول لي بدي اكل يما طبعا انا اقول الصغار بدي خبز يما بقول ابو يما والله يابا لو بدي اكل حدود لا اشوف لك كيس الطحين عشان هيك راحوا يما دبوا حالهم على الموت يما يا حبيبي يا رب احمي علي الصغار بصيحوا طبعا نهار يقول بدي خبزه طبعا نهار وبنقطع نصمام نحن يا الكبار وبنقول خذ يا ست خذ بنقسم الخبز عليهم هالقد الرغيف بنعطيه اليوم بحاله هالقد اقسم له الخبزه وبقول له خذ للعالم رسالته يحنوا علينا ويبعدوا عنا هالموت يبعدوا عنا هالازمه بس نحن بدناش طحين نحن هاي اولادنا ما تعشان الطحين يحلونا يا عمي يحلونا يا.
The Israeli Defense Forces have not commented on the latest shootings. 4 Gazans were killed in strikes on an apartment building in Gaza City. According to the WAFA, the Palestinian official broadcaster, 21 people have been killed in Gaza since dawn today, including 13 of those who were seeking aid. This comes as human rights groups have warned this week that mass starvation is spreading in the Gaza Strip. We're now joined by Shruti Dasgupta, who's an international affairs expert. She joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much, Shruti, for joining us on the situation. Shruti, more reports of Palestinians being shot, killed while seeking aid in the Gaza Strip. Further reports from humanitarian agencies of starvation, mass starvation, which is only going to escalate as time goes on. And we've also had obvious news of Israel and the United States now withdrawing from peace talks in the Qatari capital of Doha. Do you think there's any optimism left in regards of the humanitarian situation in Gaza improving?
Greetings, Thomas. Thank you for inviting me. The topic is very somber. We understand that Gaza is undergoing mass starvation. A lot of people who are spokesperson outside, including the ambassador of Palestine or a representative of Palestine in India, has gone on record to say that their own families are only able to somehow scrounge together 1 meal a day if they are lucky. So the crisis is very real, but these shootings come from also a point of concern because when the aid is being distributed, if the crowds are not controlled, then the distributing staff come under attack as well, because it is almost animal in nature and in these times. Also, the second point is a lot of Hamas representatives try and force their way through the aid lines and take hold of the aid before it actually reaches the people of Gaza. So the shootings are there and the aid situation is very tense. They have allowed air droppings, I believe, of UK to drop air parcels of aid. But last year when they attempted that, these very parachutes, these very aid, killed 5 to 6 of them when it drops on them. And if the aid drops towards where the sea is in the water, there were reports of people being drowned while trying to collect aid. So the situation is tense, and the life loss is something that is unfortunate consequence of it.
Shruti, according to the United Nations and other humanitarian agencies, there are hundreds of trucks of much needed aid. We're talking baby food here, we're talking much needed medical supplies here. We're not talking weaponry or anything like that. The UN has obviously called for operations to resume in the Gaza Strip. And now ceasefire talks have seemed to have fallen apart. Do you think there's any hope of the United Nations getting back to their established, experienced way of distributing aid in the Gaza Strip? This Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has had, seems to have, there's been real issues here in distributing aid. Some people are criticizing the organization into weaponizing it even. What more can you tell us about that?
Well, the talks have fallen through as of now, but according to Egypt and Qatar, who are the mediators in these talks, they say it is a temporary pause and the talks will resume, but they don't say when. For Palestinians or at least Gazans, it cannot. This kind of truce cannot come too soon. They want it so that they can resume at least rebuilding their lives. But there also comes the question that how do you separate the Gazans from the Hamas? And that is exactly what Israel is looking for. They want to find out where this happens. And the hostage issue remains a bone of contention between the two factions, Israeli IDF as well as Hamas. The Hamas refuses to hand over all the hostages. So on the political front, this has come to a standoff where Hamas has refused to release and Israel has refused to back off from the occupied regions of Gaza. So politically, it's a standoff. On the humanitarian front, I believe on Friday there's something called a World Central Kitchen that was allowed to resume limited cooking operations in certain parts of that area of Gaza. So there is a little bit of a hope, but there, as you said, trucks are standing with aid, but they're not letting it through because they suspect if it falls in the hands of Hamas, they will prosper, not the Gazans, and then they will resume. Right now, while Gazans are being starved, so are the Hamas. So if they get hold of this kind of a aid, then they will come back stronger and harder. And the only people who pay price for Hamas is Israel. So they are definitely skeptical. As far as the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, it has a very black record. Every time they go out to distribute aid, either the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation people themselves get killed or Gazans get killed just because they were moving suspiciously. So it's a very, very tense situation as of now.
Yes, Shruti, we now move on. You are staying with